Hi, this is Eric J coming at you with street news. No, we ain't professional and neither is this story. 31-year-old Azra Day have been arrested and charged with felony murder, first-degree child abuse, torture, and concealing the death of her 3-year-old son. So look, according to the reports, around 12:45 p.m. on Friday, Detroit police arrived at the home of Azra Day to conduct a welfare check on her children. While in the home, police said Azra Day began to act oddly. The officer went on to say the home was filthy and it was very dirty. There was garbage everywhere. I couldn't believe there were 5 children living in that home. As we made our way to the basement, I seen a freezer sitting off to the side, so I opened it, and that's when I seen the body parts of a dead child. A family member who spoke with the local news said, "I've been asking her to see my grandson, and every time I asked her, she always had an excuse. CPS had been called over there at least 13 times this year. But every time they come, they would take her kids and give them right back to her. And sometimes she wouldn't even open up the door for them, and they would just leave. Her little boy was blind. He was disabled. He didn't deserve that."
She claims Chase had medical problems and that she put him in the freezer after finding him dead several months ago. Records show she already had a history of child abuse. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig is talking to relatives who wonder if this little boy could have been saved.
It's hard for anyone to understand the horrors of child abuse that went on inside this house, and allegations of child abuse are nothing new to the mother of 3-year-old Chase Allen.
We were hoping that her parental rights were getting taken away, because you abused one child, that means you abused the rest of them.
Her sister is 31-year-old Azra Day France, the Detroit mom accused of putting her 3-year-old son Chase in a freezer. France has been arraigned on multiple charges, including murder, first-degree child abuse, and torture. And Action News has learned that it's not the first time she's been charged with felony child abuse. In 2018, France was charged with third-degree child abuse for what she did to her 2-year-old nephew. Doctors reported to CPS that the child's lips were swollen, his left eye was black, and there were injuries to his forehead, rib cage, and ankles.
And it looked like he was being fed animal food. Animal food? Yeah, like dog food.
WXYZ is showing France's arrest photos because of her prior case that resulted in her pleading guilty to misdemeanor child abuse. She was given 2 years probation, and relatives say her own children were removed, but CPS gave them back.
I honestly blame them, because if you abuse, they gave her kids back because they said that she didn't abuse her own kids.
But in 2021, Detroit police say CPS launched an investigation surrounding little Chase. His aunt says it was because he'd been burned, and his mom claimed he did it to himself.
He had 3rd-degree burns, but it had kind of healed by then because he hid it for so long.
Doctors reportedly couldn't say the injuries were the result of child abuse, and CPS closed the case.
She said that he got burned by noodles. She said she set the noodles on the table, and she told him not to touch it, and when she came back, his hand was burned by the noodles.
Some of France's contacts with CPS for the past 6 years are detailed in records at the Lincoln Hall of Justice in Detroit. They include everything from physical abuse and neglect to improper supervision. CPS even said that the children are at risk of harm. In 2020, foster care workers said her issues are due to untreated mental health and postpartum depression.
She can't keep blaming this on postpartum depression. If that was the case, then stop having kids, because you can't, every child that you have, you can't keep blaming all of your abuse and your problems on postpartum depression. If you feel that it was that, then maybe you should have sought help instead of abusing the kid.
In Detroit, Kimberly Craig, 7 Action News.
Listen, what could this child have possibly done to deserve to die this way? The police officer said when he opened up the freezer, he seen body parts. This the type of stuff that you see in horror movies. These children are living with real life monsters. Think of the type of mindset that you have to even hurt a blind person. There is no mercy amongst evil people. And the quicker we understand that, the quicker we'll be able to deal with these type of people. There's no compassion. There's no nothing. And let me say this. If a person could do something like this to their child, imagine what they could do to a friend. She did this to somebody that she carried for 9 months. Imagine what she'll do to you. You see, this goes deeper than these children. People like this are working alongside of us on our jobs. These are the people who pictures we're double tapping on Instagram. We liking this and we liking that. Whole time we don't even know this person. We just like what we see. Listen, in the book of Matthew, the scripture says, so you also outwardly appear righteous to others, but within you, you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. Look past the smiles. Don't be fooled by what you see. Get to know the people around you. Pay attention how they treat the people that they say they love. Because today they could be hurting them, but tomorrow they could be hurting you.